Hey, Eleanor. Hi, baby. I'm going to work. I'll see you soon. I'll miss you. Let me find your buddy. Whoop. Yes, buddy. Hi. Hi. Oh. You make me want to cry when you make little noises like that. Claire Bear. Hi, Claire Bear. Hi, honey. What's going on? Yeah? What's that? What's that? Oh, I love you. All right. I gotta go to work. Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. You just saw my cats. I have a 3:58 or something p.m. show. It's 2:04. So I'm leaving the house in a few minutes. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat on the way because I was lazy and didn't cook while I was home. But that's it. Today we're going to Atlanta. We'll be there by midnight Eastern time. I think I have like 17 hours there. Not really long enough for me to go all the way to my friend's house where I used to live. But we'll see. We'll see. I might just stay in the hotel room. But I will see you at the airport. Hi, so I'm in the crew room and there's no one else here, but I just ran into a new coworker. She's been here for like 2 months. Paige, hi Paige, if you're watching. But we were chatting and talking, and then I'm not wearing a beard, and then suddenly she's like, "Oh my God, you're Steven," and she got so excited she had goosebumps. She was so thrilled because apparently I helped her through training. She said. It was just like the biggest giggle. I was so happy. And she seemed inordinately thrilled. Most people aren't that excited to see me. But it was really exciting to see her excitement, and I apparently helped her out. So I'm super happy about that. Yeah, so there's that thought. And I just got an email from my company. In order to be eligible for health insurance for the next year, we have to work or be credited in whatever fashion for 432 hours of work. That includes deadheads, vacations, hours worked, pay protection, all sorts of stuff. So you have to have 432 hours, and I have, as of the year so far, 903 hours. So I think I'm covered for health insurance, right? All right, well, my crew has... Well, I'm about 25 minutes early as it is for check-in. So I'm going to finish checking my email, and there you go. I'll see you in Atlanta. Hey guys, hi. Welcome to Atlanta. I just got in my room a few minutes ago, and it's chilly. It's 64 degrees in this room. I don't know why someone keeps it that cold. My house in the summer is set at 78. I know that's probably warm for some of you. I actually set it for 80 at night. Why? Because I pay my own bills. My electric bill is, at this time of year, my electric bill is about $95 a month. If I turned my temperature down to like 68, I'd be paying $200, $250 a month easy for my electric bill. So I keep it real temperate in my house. The flight from Vegas to Atlanta tonight was perfect, easy, simple, no misbehavior. A couple reminders about masks, but nothing crazy. The most interesting thing about this pairing so far is, and by pairing, I mean this trip and the crew that's assigned to work this trip, that we have a broken pairing. And that's a phrase I don't think I've used before in one of my videos. A broken pairing in our vernacular is, in my airline's vernacular, is where we usually have 3 people on a basic crew. There could be a 4th and 5th, those are chasers. And one day, I promise, I'll make a video about chasers. I keep telling you I will. But so if we need 3 or 4 or 5 flight attendants, we'll have chasers join that basic crew. But the basic crew is of 3 people. And for example, if one person were to call out sick of those 3, that person would be removed from a trip, and then of course the pairing is then broken, and so we'd have to have a reserve or somebody from another base come and join us and continue and complete that trip. So that's what kind of the idea of a broken pairing. So our pairing is broken, and it was before the trip even started. So I have no idea what's going on, but no worries. I'm going to continue this trip with one other flight attendant from my base. He's very nice. I don't know who's joining us or what base they're from, but they'll join us probably for the remainder of the trip. We'll see. But it was a nice leg, super easy. I usually work red eyes, and this is kind of like a pink eye. I'm not sure. It's not a red eye. We still got here past midnight, so it's kind of a red eye. But that's it. That's it. I did not eat much today. I had a cheeseburger, no fries, on the way to work. And I had, what did I have? I had some dried apricots and a cup noodle on the plane. That's it. So I'm going to eat a couple chicken skewers I get at Costco, maybe some hummus. And then I'm going to crawl in bed. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's only 1:21 here, which means it's really like 9:21, 10:21, 9:20. I don't know. It's not that late in Las Vegas. Bids came out, so I'm gonna look at the bid package and see what's going on before I go to bed. So I will see you probably in the morning. All right, toodaloo. Good afternoon, guys. Hi. So it's 2:38 in the afternoon. My van is at 3. I'm all packed up, ready to go. So I'm going to try and get some ice in my lunch bag, and then go downstairs and use a real restroom. You're saying, what is that? You're saying, Steven, don't you have a restroom in your hotel room? Yeah, but my toilet doesn't work. It doesn't flush. I won't share with you what I had to go through to get one visit to leave. Yeah, so already oversharing. So the things I tell you. Yeah, so this layover was not, well, I rested. I did get a good night's sleep. I planned on bidding last night or early this morning and later today, but Flicka wasn't working, and so I basically just watched HGTV, lay in bed, and ate. So that was my layover. I am going to be deadheading to Fort Lauderdale, and then we're working from Fort Lauderdale to Boston. I've got about 17 hours in Boston. Not enough time to go down to Rhode Island to pick up any of those things that my cousin has from my grandparents, but maybe enough time to go into town, maybe do some shopping at Primark, my favorite little shop. There you go. So that's my day. That's my plan for the day. We'll see what happens. So we're at the Atlanta hotel, the airport. The trams are down. The train is down, the air train. We're in E-Gates. If you know Atlanta, that's like a mile. We have to walk. We're on one of these moving walkways, but it's still a mile that we have to, thank goodness we have like 45 minutes before showtime. But I haven't really eaten, so I was hoping to grab food before the flight. It looks like carrots and hummus on the plane. Hey guys, hi. So guess who has to work instead of deadhead from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale? Me, yours truly, because I'm more junior. My coworker is deadheaded because he's more senior, so I'm not sure what happened to this pairing that we're on now, but the chaser is gone. I'm not sure what happened, so I'm replacing the chaser on this trip, and you know how much I love chasing. But Chris, who is a coworker, a classmate of mine, is up in front with me, so that's exciting because he is so fun and he is amazing. So definitely lift my spirits, and I did finally get a chance to eat something, so I'm a little better. I was a little cranky when I heard that I was working the leg, but it's an hour and a half. I love my job, so it could be worse, right? So we still have a 2.5 hour sit. My friend, my coworker Darius, is looking at me like, you're a fool talking to your phone. See ya. Guys, that was the flight wasn't bad. It was the hour that we were sitting on the tarmac that got to be really unpleasant. Right now we're actually waiting to get off the plane because we're afraid of the people who are waiting for their strollers. Because I can't even yeah, I might tell you later. I may not, because the stories just should not be shared. But I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you more later. It was bad. Thank God I was working with a classmate who would kind of laugh with each other, but ooh, it was not good. Not good. Oh, guys. All right, so just got off the plane. I was supposed to have a 2.5-hour sit. I no longer have a sit, so I'm trying to race to my new gate to get to Boston. Yeah, that leg was a mess. So I was supposed to deadhead. Then I was working it. No notification about crew scheduling, just changed my schedule. I wonder if I can file a ticket for that. I don't know. My glasses are fogging up. Hold on. All right. So, yeah, the flight itself was okay. Not the smoothest. It was okay, but we had an hour and 10 minutes on the ground waiting for a gate. And people were just really upset, really upset. A lot of connecting flights, and of course, all of this is under our control, right? Yeah, it was not civil. Good news, I was working up in front with my friend Chris, and we were able to do our best to remain positive, and for the most part it worked. But there were a few people who were inconsolable, so it was uncomfortable. We actually had to wait for the strollers and stuff to be brought up from the bottom of the plane, because a bunch of people were waiting for their strollers, and they were very angry to the point where we actually were kind of hiding from them. There's no need for anyone to be so uncivil as to make a flight attendant hide from you. There's no need. I'm gonna let it go because it's over. Now we get to go to Boston, yay! Oh, it just gets better and better and better. So I really can't even describe how bad that last leg was. There's just no way. I can't. I want to, but I can't. But we had really nice passengers at the same time. We had such amazing passengers, and then we had other people who just were choosing unhappiness actively, you know, and it's just crazy. We actually got tipped. I don't usually accept tips, but this guy was like, he took my hand and put money in my hand, and so it was very flattering and very nice. But he gave it to my coworker Chris as well, so he was planning it. It was clear he was planning his tip. But so on this next leg to Boston, I've been on the plane for quite a while now. We're waiting for a flight attendant, our 5th flight attendant. We are flying on a 321, which requires 5 flight attendants. I'm flying lead, so we're missing our 5th. They're on a Tampa flight that is apparently currently at the airport, but they're waiting for a gate. Now, we just waited for a gate for an hour and 10 minutes on the tarmac, so I don't know what's going to happen with this Tampa flight. So, buddy, I'm a little worried now. My chaser with me is just ran up the aisle screaming, ah, and then he stopped. I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen. If we can't find this guy, we're going to get hopefully a ready reserve if they have any. So we'll see. We'll see. But this just gets better and better. Are you fit to fly?
No.
No. So what I really regret about my channel and my editing style, if you want to call it that, is that you really have no idea about the passage of time between each of my little clips that I edit together. Case in point, we have been on this plane for an indeterminate amount of time. I have no idea really how long we've been here, but it is 8:56. We're supposed to take off in like 5 or 6 minutes. That's not going to happen because we're still waiting for a flight attendant. So the flight attendant is on a flight coming in from Tampa. Once they get off that plane, they're going to come here. Problem is, Tampa is waiting for a gate, much like we were waiting for a gate. To complicate things, is this making any sense? The plane that's in the gate, that they're waiting for that plane to leave, they have to deplane that plane because there's a fight going on as we speak. The gate agent has told us there's a fight happening on that plane, a big one. The police have been called, and so the police are there now. I guess it all started over a mask. Surprise, surprise. So they have to deplane that aircraft, and do whatever they have to do. And then if they can move that plane, I don't know if they can, where they would move that plane so that the Tampa flight can come in to the gate. Then they have to deplane, and then that flight attendant has to come to our aircraft. That's what we're handling here. This is what we're facing. Now, I'm wondering if that flight attendant who's joining us, what's his day been like? So I know what he's going through because we just went through it. What's his day like? Is he legal to fly? So who knows what's going on, but this is a case where you just have to sit and wait and see what happens. So we're waiting. Fun. Hey guys, hi. So time is slowly passing. It's 9:15. Still no word as to what's going on with the other flight attendant. They're probably having a hellish night, going through what we just went through on our last flight. So I forgot to mention the one sort of nice thing that did happen on this last flight, besides being tipped, is one of our last guests, one of the last passengers on the plane. She was boarding, and she was outside the door on the jet bridge, kind of talking loudly into her phone, very animated, in a way that sometimes hints that it might be a little extra work to take care of them. Sometimes, people are a little upset or angry. You don't know what's going on. So, my coworker and I were both kind of looked at each other and was like, get ready for this, because what's going to happen here? Well, she came on board with her bags, and I said, hey, how are you? Welcome aboard. And she looked up at me. Her eyes were filled with tears. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, hi. What's going on? Are you okay? And she goes, no. I'm like, and then she's like, sort of breaks into a little bit of a sob. And I'm like, oh, can I give you a hug? I know it's COVID, but I was like, can I give you a hug? And she's like, yeah. And so I leaned down. She's very short. And I gave her a good long hug, rubbing her back, and she's crying. And her father died, and she's by herself, and she's having to handle everything by herself, and she's feeling very overwhelmed. And she's traveling, I guess, to help prepare for his burial and everything. And she's literally just sobbing, and I'm holding on to her, and I feel like she's gonna slump a little, So I'm giving her a hug, I'm holding her up a little bit, and I'm rubbing her back. And so I just asked her name and said, where are you sitting? And she's sitting all the way in the back. And so took care of her. I did get her a drink and a snack. She says, don't tell my company, I didn't say this, but she's really having a bad time, and she didn't have any money, so I bought her a drink and a snack. Nothing crazy, just, I shouldn't have said that out, because we're not supposed to hand stuff out free, it's all for purchase. But the poor thing, she was really struggling, and it was just a big reminder. It was really a reminder that unfortunately sometimes I need, is that people don't travel for fun or pleasure all the time, and anybody who sometimes seems like they're upset or they're going to be trouble, because sometimes there are red flags, like you look for certain behaviors that indicate that you might have to, have a challenging situation in your hands. Sometimes those red flags are just people having a really bad day and they need a little bit of love, so it was a good reminder. But the poor woman, she's sitting all the way in the back of the aircraft. But I got one more hug when she was leaving the aircraft, and she seemed okay. But it just felt really bad, so I was up in the galley, trying not to cry. Because She was so upset, and the passengers in the first seats, row 1 aircraft left, which is 1A and 1C, they're both like, oh my God, he gave her a hug, oh my God, you know, they were touched. But I was just, really just, the poor thing, I was so emotional. I felt bad. You know, I've lost a lot of people, and so, whatever, but blah, blah, blah. So it was sad, but it was also probably the highlight of this last leg. You know, it was a great opportunity to try to be a good human being, but blah, 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 blowing my own horn. I'm such a great guy. I know. I'm always telling you of my good deeds. I never tell you the bad things I do. Okay, so we have movement here. They grabbed somebody from somewhere. I don't know where he is. He has 6 days available on reserve, but he's going to help us board. Tampa just pulled into their gate, so whatever happened over there has to be over. And that means we get to leave soon. So we were supposed to leave about a half hour ago. So best case scenario, we only lose an hour, but I suspect we're gonna lose like 2 hours of our layover. So I may not go into town tomorrow, but we'll see, we'll see. Hey guys, hi. So I'm in Boston, and you know I'm in Boston when you see this color, this baby poop color on the wall. It's my least favorite color ever. The flight, we arrived in Boston almost exactly 1 hour late, which could have been much, much, much worse. So I was very grateful for that. Our chaser, the gentleman we were waiting for, was on that Tampa flight that was delayed getting in because of the fight and blah, blah, blah. Turns out that to be the chaser that we met on day 1. Very funny. You never know who you're going to fly with, you know. But with everyone's pairings being broken, it's very strange that we would meet again on this leg. But I was up in front on this trip as I'm flying lead on this trip. But we were on a 321, which is fun because I rarely work on them. I'm almost always on a 320. And the 321 lead, especially during a red eye, you really don't do a lot. I mean, I made coffee, I made some noodles, you know. You kept in contact with the flight deck, and so that was really it. Everyone was really, really good on board. No complaints, no problems. There were some people who were a little frustrated by the delay, of course, but you know, they were all on their way to where they were going, so they were fine with that. I forget which leg it was today. I think it was the first leg of the day where I met that young lady who was having such a difficult time with the loss of her father. This second leg, I had another opportunity to try to be a good guy. This passenger, I got a phone call from the crew in the back saying that one of our guests was really, really scared of turbulence, and she was having a difficult time. We were going through a little patch of turbulence, nothing crazy, just a little bit of turbulence, but it was freaking her out. And so he was asking if I could talk to the captain, find out how long they expected the turbulence to last. And so I called up, I said, you know, it's going to smooth out in a minute and it should be good to go for the rest of the flight. And she was all the way in the back of the aircraft, and I had seat 9, row 9 open, an aisle seat. And if you're afraid of turbulence, I should make a video about turbulence. If turbulence freaks you out, you definitely want to sit in the front of the aircraft, as far forward as you can. So seat 9 was better than seat 30. So we moved her up, and she seemed better. I got down on my knee and, you know, told her a couple of stories about how anxious I used to be about turbulence. And usually my stories like that on board are so boring that it usually kind of relaxes the guests, because they're like, all right, will you stop talking if I close my eyes? So, but she was good. She was good. Just a really nice flight. It was exactly what I needed after today, because today was a mess. Today was a mess. But it's over, and I'm in my room. I just took a melatonin, so that should take effect very soon. My goal is to wake up by 8:30. That's the latest I want to be, which means I'll sleep till 9. My goal is to be sleep until 8:30, which only is going to give me about 6 hours of sleep. because we have a breakfast here that is worth waking up for. It's a very good breakfast. And I do want to go into downtown Boston to do a little bit of shopping. Central Service, which is the sort of a central office for a lot of recovery groups in Boston, is kind of near downtown, and I want to go over there and pick up a book or two. And I still love the medallions there, the sobriety coins that we usually get traditionally, customarily. In Vegas or in the West Coast and other parts of the country, they're teeny, they're little, they're like a silver dollar size. They're not very big. The coins in Boston, we call them coins, or medallions in Boston, are bigger and beefier and just kind of cooler. And I never got one for my 18th anniversary, and I didn't get one for my 19th anniversary. So I kind of hope I can get over to Central Service so I can pick up a couple of those coins just to have them in my little, in my little box that I keep them in Vegas. So, and I want to go to Primark to do a little bit of shopping as well. And that's about it. The layover is not that long. My van, I'm taking the 5:30 shuttle to the airport. My show time is at like 6:23 or something, 6:28, something like that. My coworker that I'm working with wants to take the 6 o'clock shuttle. I just think that's kind of cutting it short. It's kind of cutting it close for me. So I'd like to take a little bit earlier shuttle just so I can stop, get coffee, relax, walk to the gate, not kind of freak, because I am just not in the shape to run to my gate, pulling my luggage. I think that's it for the night. I am very glad today is over, but I'll tell you, as challenging as today was, and it wasn't the worst day ever, I'm just grateful for my job. I was watching a video from Cloud Surfer Andy, one of my favorite YouTubers, and she was talking about, I don't know who she was talking about, but somewhere on the internet there's a YouTuber flight attendant who doesn't like their job, and apparently all they do is complain about their job at some point. And Auntie and I both agree, like, maybe it's time for you not to be a flight attendant. If you don't like your job and you hate people, and this isn't maybe the job for you. So I just feel like I've been complaining a lot too. But at the same time, I do try to look for silver linings and for opportunities to sort of be a good guy, So I'm grateful that my job gives me that opportunity to try to be there for people when they need a little bit of a hug. I was actually able to give 2 hugs today. It was nice, even during COVID. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point. Maybe that melatonin's kicking in. So I will see you tomorrow. Toodaloo. Hey guys, hi. So I just made it here to the airport T stop. I'm gonna head into downtown crossing, go to Primark. It's one of my favorite little stores to shop in, especially for like cold weather things like foldable, packable jackets, jeans, that kind of stuff. Super cheap, but cute. And I have to be back at the airport by about 4 o'clock, the hotel by about 4 o'clock. So I'm not gonna go pick up those coins I wanted to get, but next time. So I will see you in downtown. So this is my destination, Primark. Very excited. So Primark wasn't open until 10, so I thought I'd walk down to the Boston Common. It's a beautiful, beautiful day down here. And this is the fountain here, and then up there you'll see the gold dome of the State House. And Park Street Church says that it's almost 10, so I'm gonna make my way down to Primark. But it's a beautiful day. Well, that was a quick in and out. Very disappointing. They didn't have anything. The store was reduced at least by half. And the merchandise was basically made up of sweatshirts, printed t-shirts, and cheap little jackets. That's it. I didn't buy anything at Primark. It's the first time in years I've walked out without something. So I'm gonna walk down to the waterfront, maybe walk around Faneuil Hall or something, check that out. get some steps in, then maybe head back to the hotel. Hey guys, hi. So I am on the Greenway, which used to be an elevated train track that was terrifying and scary and crime-ridden and dirty, and now it's a long, narrow park, which you can see some of it behind me. I'm gonna walk along the Greenway, head down towards the aquarium, and I just realized, I should say, that there is a harbor cruise that I remember was like an hour or so. Vague memory. So I'm thinking I might take a little cruise around the harbor. That would be kind of fun. So I'll go check it out. All right, so I just took a walk through the financial district over there. I went and visited a place I used to work at, a little optical shop. And this is the Custom House Tower, very famous building here in Boston. Faneuil Hall and Quincy Market is on the other side of that building over there. I used to work there as well. This, which is now a park, used to be an elevated train track that was just really scary. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's like a water and mist thing going on over there at this fountain. That's cute. Now I'm heading over to the aquarium. There's one or two little cruise companies, harbor cruise companies over there. So I'm gonna walk over there and see if there's anything to see in terms of like maybe a harbor cruise or something. It's such a beautiful day. I think it would be nice to go out in the water. And it's only 11 o'clock in the morning, so I got plenty of time to do something. All right, well, I didn't think I was actually gonna get a seat outside because there were so many people. There's a big tour group or something, so I'm getting lucky. I like sitting in the back of the boat. There they are. Hey guys, hi. Real quick, so it is 11:48. The little boat leaves at noon. It's a 90-minute tour around the harbor, checking out most of the historic areas around the harbor. I'm very pleased with my seat. The seat next to me is broken, so no one's really sitting next to me. And yeah, it's a gorgeous day. I'm so pleased, I'm doing this instead of just walking around like my old stomping grounds. So, not that I haven't done this before, but so let's go for a harbor cruise. There's a cool old ship. Oh, look, they have a Patriots flag above the football team. I love it. It's a cool ship. So that is the Charlestown ferry over there. You can see the airport air traffic control over there. And I'm not sure if you can see that gray boat is Old Ironsides over there. We'll be passing by all of that. There's a JetBlue plane coming in, and the airport. The airport is right over there, and the airplane lands here every 17 seconds, they say.
This tunnel connects Boston to ports all around the world. It's an incredible experience.
That's Spectacle Island right there. Has us for a little plane watching. That was fun. It's going over to the airport. That was fun. Little American Airlines visiting us. Good timing.
Steel-home vessel, the USS Cass and Young, She was a Fletcher-class destroyer from World War II, built in 1943. She was the last American warship to be struck by kamikaze pilots during the Battle of Okinawa. During this battle, one of the pilots managed to get all the way down to the engine room, resulting in the deaths of 22 crew members. But the remaining crew acted fast and were able to keep the Cassinian afloat. She was eventually brought back to the Navy Yard, where she underwent extensive repairs and would be redeployed and eventually serve in the Korean War before she was decommissioned in 1960. She was later restored to original World War II design, and now she sits here as a floating museum and as a testament to all the ships built and repaired here at the Charlestown Navy Yard. But now, ladies and gentlemen, coming into view on our starboard side is Boston's most famous resident, the oldest commissioned naval warship still afloat in the world today, the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides, with their tall masts and distinctive black hull with white trimming, and decorated today beautifully with semaphore flags. The Constitution was built in 1797 and first saw action against the Barbary pirates.
That's Bunker Hill Monument right there.
Until the War of 1812 that she would achieve eternal glory, as was her nickname, when she went up against the British warship the HMS Guerriere off the coast of Nova Scotia. The Guerriere, or the Warrior, was the most powerful and feared warship of her day. Nevertheless, when the Constitution engaged her in battle, she sunk the Guerriere in 35 minutes. The captured crew from the Guerriere would later tell the sailors aboard the Constitution that when they fired upon her, they witnessed their cannonballs bouncing harmlessly off the Constitution's hull, swearing that her sides were made of iron. She is, in fact, actually made of Georgia live oak. Nevertheless, this would give rise to her nickname, Old Ironsides, and she'd go on to fight in over 42 battles and never lost one of them. To keep her active duty status in the U.S. Navy today, the Constitution must travel at least 1 nautical mile every year, and this she will always do on Independence Day, the 4th of July, where she'll be escorted from the docks of the Navy Yard out to Castle Island, and then from the Fort Independence she fires a 21-gun salute in honor of America's birthday, before returning once more to the Navy Yard to dock again, facing in the opposite direction this time so that both sides of the vessel will weather evenly throughout the year. But she will also go out to mark special occasions. In fact, it was this past Saturday that she went on one of these cruises to mark the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. We were working that day, and it was quite a beautiful sight out there. We even had a gun.
Alright, so now I'm on dry land again, and I'm walking into Quincy Marketplace. This is the first place I worked when I moved to Boston when I was a kid. I worked on one of these carts selling hot sauce and then makeup, which led me into being a makeup artist, and yeah, my whole career, my whole life started right here in Quincy Market on a cart. Look at this cute carousel. Look at the great animals. Look at the squirrel and the fox and the lobsters. How cute is this? Oh my god. So cute. A skunk. Alright guys, hi. So it's about 2:35, 2:40. I'm gonna start heading towards the hotel. I would like to take like a half-hour nap or longer before I have to leave for work. Tonight we are flying to Newark and then Atlanta, so not a bad day, 2 easy legs, no problem, but I'd like a nap anyway. I've been walking a lot today, so I will see you back at the hotel. This is the map of the subway. I have lived in Sullivan Square, Central Square, near Tufts Medical Center. I've lived Fenway. I've lived in Alston. I lived in Ashmont, and I lived in Stony Brook and Forest Hills. Urgh, my train's here. As you can see, I've been around. Hey guys, hi. So I'm at Logan Airport here in Boston. My show time isn't until 6:28, I think. I was gonna take the 5:30 shuttle, but there's traffic. And if I'd taken the 5:30 shuttle, I don't know if the shuttle would have gotten back to the hotel in time to pick up my coworker who's taking the 6 o'clock shuttle. So I took the 5 o'clock shuttle instead. I know, a little crazy. I left the hotel an hour and a half before my showtime, but I didn't want my desire to take the 5:30 shuttle to complicate my coworker getting here on time. Make any sense? So I got lots and lots and lots of time to spend at the airport here. Thankfully, there's a Dunkin' Donuts open right behind me. I can get an iced coffee. Their coffee doesn't always give me heartburn like Starbucks does, so I'm very happy. I'll get a little iced coffee to get me to Newark, and then I have an energy drink in my bag that will get me from Newark to Atlanta. There's my, that's my caffeine plan for the evening. So I'll see you on the airplane next. Oh my God, this bed is so high. I have to hop up, and I'm 6'2". So I made it to my room here back in Atlanta. So I didn't film anything between the two legs today because there's nothing to film. We had 34, 35 passengers on the first leg to Newark, which was very surprising to me because it's like Boston to Newark. I was expecting a lot more passengers. And then everyone behaved beautifully, no problems. And then Newark to Atlanta, we had 70 passengers. No, just great. Everyone was great. We did have one family that didn't speak English and seemed to have a hard time with the pantomiming of please put the mask over your nose, but whatever. I mean, I wasn't gonna turn the plane around or anything. Yeah, no challenges on the plane, on the flight. The only challenge was that we got off the plane. We were all the way on E gates in Atlanta, and of course, like the first night of this trip, the train was down. The train stops running at a certain hour, and we were past it, so we actually had to walk from E all the way to the main terminal, and then we had to continue past where the shuttle picks up. And man, I am out of shape, and it was a long. It's more than a mile. It took us 25 minutes because we were kind of behind some slower people and whatever. But 25 minutes, that included all of the people movers where you got to walk faster than whatever, blah 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 blah. It was just a long walk. We missed a shuttle. We had to wait for the next shuttle. Whatever. I'm complaining. The passengers were great today, and I was so grateful. So right now I'm watching some HGTV. I have 2 chicken skewers left. I'm gonna eat a yogurt. I'm really into Noosa yogurt, it's so good. Carrots and some hummus. So that's what I'm gonna eat for dinner because I just can't bring myself to heat up food. I'm too tired. I am here for, we have a 3:30 shuttle tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow, all I'm gonna do is bid because bids are due the morning of the 17th. That's it. That's my whole plan for tomorrow. So I will see you on the way back home to Vegas tomorrow. All right. Good night. Hey guys. Hi. So I am back in Las Vegas. Thank goodness. This trip wasn't the longest ever. It just felt very long. I couldn't even tell you exactly what was stressful about this trip. I know there were moments of stress. But they pass, and that's one of the best parts of being a flight attendant is, if a day is stressful, the next day it's over, it's gone, goodbye. So thank God for that. I don't have to hold on to stress. But today was lovely. We had one leg from Atlanta to Las Vegas, which isn't always the easiest trip. If you've flown that route before, it's sometimes a little extra work, but not today, at least in the front half of the aircraft. The guys in the back today had to handle a couple situations, nothing crazy. But the front half of the plane where I was usually around, they were stupendous, really. Just probably some of the nicest people I've met in a really long time. So I'm so grateful for them. In particular, we had three women. We had 2 women up in front. The first aircraft left, one A and B. They were lovely. A couple, it was a lesbian couple. They're both nurses, and we had some really down and dirty conversations about what their experiences have been like during this pandemic, and you know, how many body bags they've filled. These women are nurses, they're ICU nurses, and they are deeply tired, hugely exhausted, and mad at the people. Literally, there's people all over the place with their masks down, and I asked, like, are you guys, like, how do you handle the frustrations of seeing people walk around without masks or fighting vaccinations and stuff? And they're mad. These nurses I met today were just loving, patient, kind, caring, taking care of their people, but also very frustrated with the response from a bunch of people, putting other people at risk and keeping them busy. The young lady on the closest to the window, she had to fill like over 100 body bags recently, like 100 body bags. So it was a really intense conversation, but also on the flip side, we had a lot of laughs too. They were the perfect audience for me. All of my jokes were fresh and new to them, so they laughed all the time. But so we shared some good laughs and shared some deep stories. I share with them because they're both ICU nurses. We talked a little bit about when I was injured. If you remember the video, did you see that video? I talked where I was stabbed. I don't talk about that to all my passengers, but they're ICU nurses. And we really just had a really interesting conversation about that, the recovery, what the surgery was like, blah, blah, blah. So I loved them. They were just fantastic. And then we had this older woman. She was an elderly woman. And I think she used the restroom a couple times. And, you know, you offer an arm and help them walk along if they're having a hard time. And she was also just a perfect audience for me. She also thought that my jokes were funny, and she stopped on the way out of the restroom and to say that she thought my demeanor was lovely. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice of you to say. When a little old lady says you're really nice, you know, it's a sign, right? So she was just great, and she gave me 2 compliments during the flight about my demeanor. And while she was leaving, she goes, "Stephen, give me your hand," because they all know my name. She said, "Stephen, give me your hand," and she forced a bill of money in there. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, are you sure? And she's like, yes, you need to take this. And I was like, oh, okay. I hate taking tips. I don't think it's appropriate most of the time, because I think usually people are trying to butter you up to like overserve them alcohol and things like that. But she's like, give me your hand, like a grandma would, you know, and she stuck it in my hand. It was a $20 bill. Thank you very much. I'll take that. But it was just the compliments that she gave me were really the sweetest and the best part. But that $20 will do me wonders at Costco. So yeah, just a really nice leg. Perfect ending to what feels like a very long trip. I have 2 days off. The next trip is a 4-day, but I'm working with my friend Philip. I've mentioned him a number of times. He's like one of my favorite people in Las Vegas. So he picked up his trip because I was working it, and it's going to be really nice. I know that for a fact. And I think that's it for this video. I need to go eat something because I'm really hungry. But that's it. So thanks very much for joining me on this. This video probably was a little longer than some because of my layover in Boston, but thanks for joining me. As always, I appreciate you like nothing. You know how much I love you guys, right? So I will see you later. All right, toodaloo, bye, fly safe.